Okay, so you sent this Forbes article over
Huh?
Astro Bot is game of the year, and people are mad.
Yeah.
And honestly, the headline alone, I was like, whoa, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So today we're going to deep dive into this whole Astro Bot controversy.
Oh.
What's fueling it?
Yeah.
What does it tell us about gaming culture, online communities,
Right.
all that stuff, the world of social media?
Yeah, it seems like a pretty simple video game award.
Right.
But it's actually like a really fascinating example of
Okay.
how these seemingly small things can tap into these much larger cultural and technological forces
Okay.
that are at play online.
I mean, yeah, we're talking some serious internet outrage here.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that drama, let's just kind of recap. Like, what is Astro Bot?
Yeah.
Right? It's a PS5 game.
Yep.
A 3D platformer.
Uh-huh.
Adorable robot protagonist.
Cute little guy.
And it's gotten rave reviews.
And those reviews aren't just good. We're talking near perfect scores.
Okay.
So critics on Metacritic gave it a 94 out of 100.
Wow.
And users gave it a 9.2 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So to put that into perspective, that's like getting an A++ in school.
Okay.
And the user score is almost unheard of.
Right.
That level of near universal acclaim makes the backlash even more intriguing, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with scores that high, you'd think everyone would just be celebrating.
Yeah.
And to some extent they were.
Yeah.
Astro Bot, like, cleaned up at the 2024 Game Awards. Won Best Platformer.
Right.
Best Art Direction.
Wow.
And the coveted Game of the Year award.
Big one.
I was seeing memes popping up online like Astro Bot, you know, holding that Game of the Year trophy. All the confetti raining down.
Yeah.
Cheering fans.
Totally.
Real victory lap for the game and its developers.
For sure, but right alongside those celebratory memes.
Okay.
You also had these memes expressing just outrage and disappointment.
Really?
Think of that classic disappointed Renaissance guy meme.
Oh, yeah.
The one where the guy is just sitting there with his head in his hands.
Oh, yeah.
That perfectly sums up a lot of people online.
Really?
It's almost like the internet was split down the middle.
Wow.
With Astro Bot as this, like, unexpected dividing line.
So what's with the outrage?
Yeah.
It's an award.
Right.
Why are people getting so heated?
Well, this is where it starts to get really interesting.
Okay.
For a lot of gamers, video games are more than just entertainment.
Right.
They represent communities, escapes, and even sources of identity.
I can see that you spend hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes years immersed in these worlds, building connections. It becomes this like shared experience.
Exactly. When you invest that much of yourself into a game or genre, it makes sense that you would feel pretty passionate about it.
Okay.
There was a study published in Front Psychiatry, and it actually explored this concept of escapism in gaming.
Interesting.
It highlights how these virtual worlds can have a real impact on our sense of self.
I see.
Like on the positive side, gaming can build confidence. It can foster this sense of belonging.
Right.
Even allow players to kind of explore different aspects of their identity through their avatars.
Interesting. So it's like finding your tribe, but online.
Right.
Where you can connect with people who share your passions, whether it's like conquering dragons or exploring planets.
I get it. But as the study points out, there can be some downsides to this level of immersion, too.
Oh, really?
The study found that in some cases, this intense escapism can actually lead to social withdrawal.
Wow.
Or a negative perception of real-world life.
Interesting.
When compared to the excitement of the virtual one.
Right.
So it's all about finding that balance.
So it sounds like this Astro Bot controversy, it isn't really about the game itself, but about something much bigger.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
All this outrage, the memes, it all speaks to the level of emotional investment people have in these games and communities.
Right.
The disappointed Renaissance guy meme, for example, reflects the sense of betrayal by some gamers.
Really?
It shows how deeply personal these games can become.
Wow.
Almost like extensions of their identity.
That's intense.
And when these communities feel like their favorite is snubbed or even excessively celebrated, it triggers a really strong emotional response.
Okay.
Both positive and negative.
So how does social media fit into all of this?
No, absolutely.
It definitely feels like
it does.
It's fanning the flames here.
Yeah. Social media amplifies these reactions in a big way. Think about how algorithms work.
Right.
They prioritize content that gets the most engagement. And strong opinions, even negative ones, tend to generate a lot of engagement.
Yeah, you're right.
There was a study in Scientific American actually found that influencers play a key role in driving this online polarization. They often use like really emotionally charged language, creating a kind of us versus them dynamic that fuels the fire.
So it's almost like they're incentivized to be more extreme to gain more followers and attention. And then it just spirals from there.
For example, an influencer might post, this game is objectively baddie. Instead of just saying, like, I didn't personally enjoy this game. That inflammatory language is designed to grab attention, provoke a reaction, which then feeds back into the algorithm.
Wow.
Making that post even more visible.
So you have these passionate communities deeply invested in this gaming world, and then social media algorithms
are amplifying the most extreme reactions on both sides. I mean, it's definitely a recipe for online drama.
It is. And in this case, Astro Bot just happened to be the catalyst that sparked it.
It's the perfect illustration of how our increasingly digital lives are intertwined with our real world emotions. And how those emotions can be manipulated and magnified online.
So how do we navigate this complex landscape
of
online emotions and digital communities?
It's tough.
Especially when it feels like everything is designed to just trigger us.
Well, first it's important to...
I mean, it's a lot to unpack, right? Like this constant tension between genuine passion
and then online manipulation.
Totally. It's a delicate balance. I think the first step is to acknowledge the validity of these feelings. People are genuinely invested in these online worlds. Their reactions, both positive and negative, come from a place of real passion.
So it's about empathy. Trying to understand that these digital experiences have real world implications for people.
Exactly. And then it's about fostering these healthier online spaces. We need to encourage respectful dialogue and find ways to like challenge the algorithms that prioritize outrage over understanding.
I mean, is that even possible? These algorithms are so...
They are.
They are.
And they're constantly evolving.
It's definitely a challenge, but I think we can start by being more mindful of our own emotional responses online. Recognizing when we're getting caught up in the hype. Taking a step back to consider different perspectives. And choosing to engage in thoughtful dialogue, even when it's difficult.
That sounds good in theory.
Sure.
But how do we put it into practice? It feels like everyone's shouting at each other online these days.
It starts with being critical consumers of online content. We can't just passively accept whatever's thrown at us. We need to question the information we're seeing. Consider the source. Look for multiple perspectives. And when we do engage in discussions, let's focus on building bridges rather than walls.
So instead of arguing about whether Astro Bot deserved to win Game of the Year, we could talk about what aspects of the game resonated with different players.
Exactly. We can shift the focus from winning and losing.
Appreciating the diversity of perspectives and experiences within these communities.
I get it.
Because ultimately, these digital worlds are an extension of our real world. They reflect our values, our beliefs, and our desires. And just like in the real world, it's important to approach these online spaces with empathy, understanding, and a willingness to engage in meaningful conversation.
You know, this reminds me of that time when I got into a heated debate online about the ending of a popular TV show. I was so convinced that my interpretation was the right one.
I see.
And I was like ready to argue with anyone who disagreed.
Right.
But then I started reading other people's comments, and I realized that there were so many valid interpretations that I hadn't even considered. It totally changed my perspective. That's a great example. It's so easy to get caught up in our own little echo chambers online, surrounded by people who agree with us. But those echo chambers can limit our understanding and prevent us from seeing the bigger picture.
So how do we break out of those echo chambers?
Well, one way is to actively seek out diverse perspectives, follow people with different opinions, read articles from different sources, engage in conversations with people who challenge your viewpoints. It can be uncomfortable at first, but it's ultimately how we grow and learn.
It's like that saying, the only way to grow is to get out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. And remember, behind every avatar, every username, there's a real person with real feelings. Those feelings deserve to be acknowledged and respected even when we disagree.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that online interactions shouldn't devolve into these like personal attacks. We're all just trying to navigate this digital world together.
That's right.
You know, the more we talk about these issues, the better equipped we'll be to create a more positive, productive online experience for everyone.
I agree.
So what's the takeaway from all this?
Well,
what can we do as individuals to make a difference?
I think the next time you find yourself scrolling through your social media feed and you come across a heated debate, take a moment to consider those deeper forces at play. Think about the communities involved, the algorithms that are shaping your experience, and the power of online culture to both unite and develop.
And before you jump into the fray, ask yourself, is this contributing to the problem? Or am I part of the solution?
That's a great question to ask. It can help us make more conscious choices. About how we engage online. Remember, we all have a role to play in shaping the culture of the internet.
So it's not just about algorithms and influencers. It's about the choices we make.
It is.
Every day.
Absolutely. And those choices matter. Because understanding these dynamics is the first step towards creating a more informed and empathetic online world.
Okay, so the Astro Bot saga is more than just an internet squabble.
It's a really fascinating example of how this seemingly small event can spark a larger conversation about online culture, the power of communities, and the importance of empathy in the digital age.
And it's a reminder that even though these worlds exist online, the feelings they evoke, the connections we make, the communities we build, they're all very real.
And they have a real impact on our lives, both positive and negative, as we continue to explore these digital frontiers. It's crucial that we do so with a sense of curiosity, compassion, and a commitment to building bridges rather than walls.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about being right or wrong.
It's about understanding each other and recognizing that our digital lives are just as complex and multifaceted as our real ones.
And just like in the real world, different perspectives can enrich our understanding and challenge us to grow.
For sure.
It sounds like embracing those differences is key. And engaging in respectful dialogue, even when it's tough, is really important for creating a healthier online environment.
It is, absolutely. And it's important to remember that even in the midst of all this like internet chaos and those heated debates, there's always an opportunity for connection and learning. That's the beauty of these digital spaces. They offer a platform for shared experiences, diverse perspectives, and endless possibilities.
It's like we're all kind of figuring this out together.
Totally. Internet, social media, it's still relatively new.
It is.
When you think about it.
In the grand scheme of things. Exactly. And as we continue to explore these virtual frontiers, it's up to us to shape the culture we want to create.
Okay.
A culture that values empathy, understand.
Yeah, and respectful dialogue.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this Astro Bot controversy, what it reveals about online culture today, what's the one thing you want to leave our listener with?
I think the most important takeaway is this.
Okay.
Have you ever felt strongly about a game, a movie, or even book that other people just didn't seem to get?
Right.
How did those different perspectives make you feel?
Wow.
What did you learn from that experience?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It makes you think about
it does.
Your own experiences and how you interact with others online.
Right.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So feel free to share your experiences with us on social media.
Sounds good.
Let's keep the conversation going.
Because the more we talk about these issues, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the complexities of the digital world.
And who knows, maybe we could even learn something from each other along the way.
Absolutely.
That's what the deep dive is all about.
It is.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.
For another deep dive.
Yeah.
Into the fascinating world around us.